Alright, so shout out to Zora What If for giving me these ideas. He's been a big help as of late because he's, pretty dope. He or she is pretty dope. So, today I'll be going over what if Deku had Knull Part 4, I believe. And last time I rehabilitated Deku rehabilitated stayed. Man, sorry, my throat's a little dry. Alright, so he rehabilitated Zane. Fuck. He rehabilitated Stain. And, Stain's no longer the hero killer. He still has those, kills under his belt from the previous heroes, but now he just rethinks his actions and, stuff like that. Alright, so the next morning, let's just get into it. Alright, so the next morning, Deku goes to school, goes to UA, and, Uraraka finally walks up to Deku and says, "Hey, thanks for saving me that day at the entrance exam." And Deku says, "Oh, well, it's not that big of a deal, really. It's just, that's what a hero has to do. No matter what obstacle they face, no matter how many triumphs they have, they'll stop. They won't back down." And Uraraka takes this to heart. She starts to say, she starts to think to herself, well, maybe being a hero for money isn't the real way to, succeed in life. Maybe it's just helping people. Because, in this one, he's, Deku's really inspiring and stuff. So, a couple minutes later, class starts, and a couple minutes after that, All Might busts through the door and says, "I am here to teach this class. Today we'll be doing a hero versus villains assessment. Half of you will be villains guarding a bomb, and the other half will be trying to retrieve said bomb and, capture the villains if you need to or have to." And Deku just thinks, okay, well, maybe I got this in the bag. And then he notices that all day Noel hasn't been saying anything. He's just been quiet. He hasn't been reacting or anything. So now he's getting a little nervous. But so he channels into his arm and activates a piece of symbiosis, and he sees Hope, just crawling around and stuff like that. So he says, "Okay, so I can still access the abilities, but what's going on?" No answer from Noah. So they go to put on their gym uniforms, and it turns out Deku doesn't need one because one of his abilities is to, manipulate his clothes. So all he does is just focuses and he manipulates his clothes to, appear. And he's fully dressed and everything. So he's the first one out. Everyone is curious about the extent to Deku's powers and what they can do, and he's so amazing, So after a while, the people who go before Deku and Uraraka, Iida, and Bakugo, they all get the same score, and Deku is being told that his team is up, and they'll be facing Bakugo and Iida. Iida's trying to lay out a plan, but Bakugo's not hearing it. He just wants to bust through the wall and fight Deku. That's it. That's all that's on his mind. I'm gonna finally best this damn nerd, is what he's thinking. Like always. Deku predicts this. He looks at he looks at Uraraka as they're outside, and he thinks, okay, so I'm pretty sure Kachan is going to come for me. So I'm going to need you to hide. Or, wait, your quirk is gravity manipulation, right? She says, yeah. Do you think you can get up to the highest window? And, we'll work our way down from there, up to each other? She says, sure, of course. It wouldn't be that hard. So they initiate their plan. As of now, Deku's going to handle Kachan and keep him busy. While, you know, Uraraka is going to search from the top and go head down. So, let's see. Alright. So, on the second floor, Deku's senses. Okay, we're just going to give him Spider-Man's abilities already because, Peter Parker and everything. Deku's spider sense like ability kicks in. And he senses that, you know, something's not right. And that's when he sees the wall start to melt slowly, and then there's just a huge explosion, like, right in his face. He's saying, "Whoa, you could have killed me there, you jerk!" Deku rants. Bakugo states, "Huh, like I care. A nerd like you deserves to die." Now, are you going to tell me how you got that powerful? Deku looks at Kachan with a serious face, smirks, and says, "You're on a need-to-know basis, and right now, you don't need to know." As he suits up, Bakugo sees that the clothes on Deku starts to change into the big form that he saw at the entrance exams. And he's like, he's three emotions in one. He's amazed, terrified, and pissed. He just doesn't admit that he's terrified. He states, I gotta give it to you, nerd. You get better with these transformations each time." Deku says, "What are you talking about?" Bakugo says, "Nothing, let's fight." So, Bakugo starts, you know, sending huge explosions to Deku. He even pulls his pins early on in the match. And because of this, you know, I'm not going to give Deku fire resistance just yet, because, like, I don't want to make him too nerfed, because he's already, like, nerfed. And I really love an overpowered character. So, every time that the explosion would hit Deku, well, would touch Hope, it would, the symbiote would push back, and then when the flames got away, it would push forward and coat the spot that was just missing. Bakugo is too busy in a fit of rage, to realize this and try to see a defensive maneuver. Try to use it to his advantage, so he's just firing off. And next thing you know, Hope jumps on the ceiling and leaps behind Bakugo, kicks him in the air, and sends him flying down the hall. If you've watched Venom, the movie, with the mask scene where he, like, shows part of his face, that's what he does. Deku looks at Kachan and says, we used to be friends, but you ruined that. As he starts to walk off. Now, let's go to Uraraka's situation at the moment. So, before the battle begun, she levitated, and, it does make her sick, but she spent like 3 minutes throwing up. I'm just going to put this realistically. She spent 3 whole minutes throwing up like she always does until she gets that trained in the manga or anime, regardless. Alright, so what happens is that, you know, after she's finished throwing up, she starts moving down, and it basically goes, well, almost similar to the anime, where Iida is picking up Ida's picking up the objects in the room, so, she wouldn't have anything to touch or grab onto, so her ability wouldn't work. So, but this fight goes a little different due to the influence of Deku. Deku slash Hope, you know. So, Noel's still not talking. So, Iida sees Uraraka as she comes down and nears the bomb. And he states he starts maniacally laughing, saying, "Ha ha ha, you puny hero. Did you really think that you could beat me, the speed villain?" She says, "Wow, Iida, you're really into this, aren't you?" Iida pushes his glasses up like all male anime glass wearing characters does, and the shine happens, and says, "Of course, I have to play the part to be the part." Anyway, back to what I was saying. And that's when he starts his engines up. And Uraraka tries to focus, but Ida's too fast for her. So she does the only logical thing she can do. She slides under him, and even though it'll hurt her hand, she slaps his legs as he's going as he's going, as he's running, and she puts her fingers together and she starts to connect. He starts to float. He says, "Put me down, you puny hero." And she says, "Not until my partner gets here." Move forward 5 minutes later, Deku comes running up, and next thing you know, you hear a big explosion, just pummeling everything in the entire. We're just gonna make his explosion a little nerfed. You hear an explosion take out half of the building. The bomb starts to fall down. It starts to slide out of the building. Deku hurries and runs and tells Uraraka to make sure Iida is occupied, to make sure nothing happens, make sure he doesn't escape. And as Deku says this, he begins to jump and free fall to the bomb. As the bomb inches near the ground, Deku touches it to make sure that the bomb doesn't go off and stuff like it was supposed to. Not for real, like they did in the manga or the anime. I'm sorry, I'm just so nervous. And that's when All Might says over the over the intercom, "Hero Team has won," as Deku's sticking to the wall, grabbing the bomb before it hits the ground. And when everybody gets done and leaves out the building, when the fort leaves and gets done out the building, everybody comes bombarding them, saying, "Wow, that was an amazing match. It was so thrilling. Oh, wow." Kaminari wait, is it Kirishima or Kaminari? We're just gonna say Kirishima. Kirishima's the one with the hardening quirk, right? Because if so, yeah. He has a different approach to Deku. He says, "You know what? That was real manly of you. How about we be friends?" And, Deku says, "Sure, why not?" As he starts to power down. What else? And All Might gives, the information that to each person about what they did. But what he tells Uraraka and Deku is that they did perfect. Uraraka was a bit reckless when she smacked charging Iida's legs, but other than that, they did perfect. Perfect teamwork, perfect symmetry, everything. Uraraka starts to blush when she hears the words perfect symmetry. And Deku just shrugs it off and says, "Thanks, All Might." And, get to the class reppers. No, I'm going to just say that for the next time. Well, thank you, everybody, and hope you have a wonderful day.